Hi, I'm Louis Feagans. I'm excited to talk to you about what Indiana DOT is doing in asset management um, and in improving our roads and bridges throughout the state. Some of the key items that I'm going to be talking about to you today is our 20-year plan, how asset modeling during the project, how we use asset modeling during the project selection, and how we use project modeling using AI and equity scores. One of the key things that INDOT decided to do pretty much starting in 2017 was to try to develop a 20-year road and bridge plan. So every road and every bridge would have a plan on how we were going to maintain it, both using maintenance and capital forces to optimize our life and condition of our roads and bridges. So INDOT, about the same time as the TAMP was coming out, had House Amendment Act 1002 transportation bill that also supported us having that 20-year plan. So our first 5 years of the plan are program, active, design projects that are both in our STIP, but also in design. The next 6 to 10 years of the plan are not funded yet. They don't have a tracking DES number, but they are kind of what we were expecting to do. Our asset engineers have been looking at them, watching them, saying, hey, we're going to be needing to do some work on these roads, bridges, and culverts. And then 11 years and out, also they're not funded projects, but the projects that are asset rules and our DTIMS modeling is saying, hey, we need to be doing some routine work or capital program work on these projects. So how did we develop this 20-year plan? First, we had to sit down and come up with asset strategies or life cycles. So we came up with those for both life cycles for payment, bridges, large culverts, small culverts. We're working on signals, ITS for the agency as well, overhead signs, MSE walls, noise walls. Basically, all our assets we're developing these life cycle plans to put in the model and to put in the funding needs for projects coming up. Um, we use DTIMS to help model it. I always laugh and say, look, our asset engineers are some of the best, in the state, if not the country, but they can only look, they each have 600 bridges or about 2 to 3,000 lane miles to manage. There's no way that they can have all that in their heads or in Excel spreadsheets, stuff like that before we had DTIMS. So we use DTIMS and, put our business rules in the DTIMS and come up with, how can we, maintain our roads and bridges. So here's an example of some of the, recommendations that the modeling and our teams have came up with our business for. So this is an A1 HMA type projects. We have them for concrete as well. And we have them for low volume roads, as you see in a few minutes. So here's an HMA, A1 interstate, so high volume interstate. And what we're going to be doing, preventive maintenance, minor structural and then major structural throughout the life of that. As you can see here, we're going to do, it has both capital program and maintenance. So, on the maintenance side, crack sealing, clipping shoulders, blading shoulders, spot ditching, patching as it's needed, really trying to, maintain that asset to the highest level condition as we can possibly do. Like I said, we also have some low volume roads, you know, less than 800 vehicles a day. So, we're not going to do as much capital program on those roads, and we're going to count on chip sealing and fog sealing to maintain those. But we still have to get out there and make sure we crack seal it and patch it and, keep the ditching moving. But as you can see here, we have that plan, every 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. and in year 2021 we'll come in with an either HMA overlay or a white topping overlay as well. Just as we have for roads, we have the same similar plan for bridges, large culverts, small culverts. So here, as you can see, we're going to do a thin deck overlay, a rigid deck overlay, superstructural replacement, thin deck overlay, rigid overlay, trying to maintain that bridge in that high or good to fair condition, not let it get into poor condition where you have to do a lot more work, a lot more expensive work. So same thing, as you can see, we've both got capital program and maintenance projects, tack sealing, crack filling, joint replacement, scour, watching for scour issues and stuff like that. So what do we do with the 20-year data? How do we use that for the agency? So we've developed a 20-year GIS layout so every employee in the agency has access to this. It is not quite public information yet. We are trying to figure a way to do some public involvement, but this is a tool that our frontline forces, our district forces can go out and use to, work with communities, work with mayors, work with the city and county councilmen, uh, property owners even, that say, hey, we're going to be in your community, or hey, we're going to be in your front, in front of your house doing projects. This is how we're going to maintain your road and bridge, and be able to show them that plan. So as you can see, it's sort of switchable by county, city, district, regions. So here we're zooming into Vanderbilt County, the city of Evansville. We're going to hit play. We're going to do a 1-year analysis. So as you can see, you can click on a pipe, you can click on a road. If it's an active project, it feeds into our SPMS or our project management tools. And then it walks through each year of that plan. So, here's a chip seal road on this PK. So that's what maintenance is going to be doing. It also shows, capital program. It shows bridges, every type of work type that we have. It will go in, and if it's on that road or that bridge, here's bridge painting, in 2026 or 2031. When they need to turn it into the planning documents, and how do we, what's the beginning of the purpose and need for the project. So, like I say, it gives the frontline staff an opportunity to sit down with communities and saying, hey, we're going to be working on this bridge, or we're going to be working on this road. Hey, if you have maintenance, if you have, storm route, sewer, sanitary sewer work that you need to do, this is an opportunity for us to work together to improve both the roads and bridges, in those communities. So one of the first questions I get asked a lot of times in these presentations is it working? So as you can see here, since 2017, our payment conditions have gone from 89% up to 93.6, and unofficially off the record, it hasn't been announced to the state yet, but I'll give you some insight. Right now in 2023 data, we're up to 94.3% good and fair roads. So it is working, and it is being similar effect for our bridges. We had started working on our bridges, adding some additional funding to bridges back in 2014, kind of implementing this plan. So as you can see, we're already above meeting our goals and meeting our process going. So now that we have the 20-year plan, working with federal highway and everyday counts, on the bundling, we were one of the states for bundling on everyday counts. We started working with FORO to use AI bundling to help develop our bundling rules and bundling. Now that we've done that, we're expanding that into looking at taking our 20-year plan, taking the next 3 to 5 years of that 20-year plan, putting that into the bundling application and saying, okay, you can move a road 1 or 2 years up or back. You can move a bridge, minimum of 5 years up or back, depending on what type of bridge, if it's on an interstate or if it's on a low volume road. We've developed business rules to kind of bundle across multi-years. So now we're running the program, bundling projects, or looking at bundles and saying, hey, in this next 5 years, how can we bundle projects and get the best score and get the best project for the agency and for the construction community, to optimize our funding. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but the last 18 months, 2 years, inflation has been, really going up and having a high cost on us. So how can we optimize our program to bundle? So we've been doing that 3 to 5 year looks and moving projects up and back. And now we're also adding equity to it. So we've been working with a couple of equity committees and teams to develop how do we manage equity into our project selection, using the ALICE data and how can we optimize, and help communities, using our program and our preservation program. So we've ran a couple of scenarios on that. I'm not quite ready to share that publicly yet, but it's starting to show quite a bit of promise on that aspect as well. One of the other things that we're doing with our modeling is, so we model our program for that call process, or the program comes in, model, use DTEMs, model the program, say, okay, provide that list to the district saying, hey, these are the projects based off of our business rules, what the model recommends and our business rules recommend to be, brought into the program for this fiscal year. Districts, asset teams, the frontline guys go out and look. They start with that list. But hey, there's we have a bridge deteriorating faster than what our latest inspection has, or the modeling business rules, or hey, there's going to be a new Walmart, or there was a new landfill or quarry being built, and the road is starting to deteriorate faster than what we predicted. So we're about 75 to 80% accurate on our model. So there's that 15 to 25% of new projects coming in. So as we get those new projects in, we go back and rerun the computer model, the DTEMS model, and say, okay, hey, based off of the program that was selected, how are we going to do? Are we still going to meet our targets? Are we still going to meet our program? And if the answer is yes, we move forward. If the answer is no, we take a look back and say, okay, hey, what do we need to do to make sure that we meet our TAMP and House Enrollment Act 1002 program goals. So I think, talking to a lot of other states, I think we're one of the few states that does that, look back on how are we meeting, or is our program going to meet our goals. So once again, thank you for allowing me to meet with you guys and kind of show you what we're doing. I hope it helped. Excited to get questions during the conferences next week to answer anything you guys have to say, or if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, thank you, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Here's my email and phone number. Hope to see you at the conference.